Live from Ronald J. Abdow Field on the campus of American International College in Springfield, Massachusetts. CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of NCAA Division II men's soccer. In today's non-conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Yellow Jackets of American International College. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, and I will be with you on the call solo today, providing play-by-play action of the entire match from Springfield, Massachusetts. This is the first of several road games that we will cover here on CSI Sportsnet this year. Currently, we had this game scheduled, along with a couple more, on October 1st at St. Thomas Aquinas College. Pending potential playoff scenarios down the stretch of the season, more games could be added to our road slate, but we begin our road coverage in 2025 with today's match between the Dolphins and the Yellow Jackets. And a great place to start ahead of this match today is where we last left this men's soccer team, and that was back over the weekend at the College of Staten Island on Saturday, where they pulled off a thrilling come-from-behind win for their first victory of the 2025 season, defeating Georgian Court University by a score of 2-1. In that game, the two teams traded opportunities throughout the first half, but neither side was able to score, as both goalkeepers were fantastic in this one. However, in the second half, it was the Lions who finally broke through with the game's first goal in the 65th minute to go ahead 1-0. However, the Dolphins would not stay behind for long. A giveaway by the Lions in their own end led to a Dolphins goal. Karai Arslan picked up the takeaway. He also picked up the assist on the Wolfgang Alvarado goal that evened up the score at 1-1. Late in the game, it appeared the Lions were going to have the final opportunity on the attack. They had a corner kick, and immediately following that corner kick, the Dolphins came up with another huge takeaway late in the match. Turning it up the field, the Dolphins were able to get the ball onto the foot of Arslan once again, and he delivered his second assist of the game, finding William Lopez in the center of the box. Lopez had a great look on goal. The shot appeared to be blocked. However, it traveled just beneath the crossbar onto the top shelf and in as the Dolphins scored with less than 20 seconds remaining. They would hold on for the final 20 seconds and took the victory over GCU by a final score of 2-1. And I said it at the time when that game came to its conclusion, it's going to be tough to top that one, and perhaps the Dolphins hope they don't top it this year, as they'd rather win a lot more comfortably. But today, they face the Yellow Jackets in the third road match of the 2025 season for this Dolphins team. They've already been up to Massachusetts once, taking on Assumption University. They also traveled to Manchester, New Hampshire for a matchup with St. Anselm College. Both of those matches resulted in defeat against the Greyhounds. The Dolphins lost by a score of 3-1, and they lost to the Hawks by a score of 1-0. As for the Dolphins, their history against American International College, it spans just one match. That match took place 2 years ago, almost 2 years to the day today. It took place back on September 16th in the year 2023. That match resulted in a tie, both teams putting up a single goal. The lone Dolphins tally belonged to Miguel Espinoza in the 74th minute. There was a red card issued against American International in that match as well. During the closing minutes, the Dolphins had a one-man advantage for the final 2 minutes and 26 seconds. They could not turn that into a goal as the game ended with the score even at 1. Shot tally in that game favored American International 14-12. However, the Dolphins held a 10-8 advantage in shots on goal. 9 saves for AIC in that match, 7 for the Dolphins. Corners favored CSI 6-5. The Dolphins committed 13 fouls to just 8 for the Yellow Jackets. But I did mention during CSI's previous game that it was a goaltending battle, and the goalkeepers in that game were phenomenal. On the side of CSI, Carlos Romero Astacio, 8 saves, including some huge saves late in that game. Big saves throughout the match for the Dolphins goalkeeper. Dolphins have already utilized multiple keepers in net through their first 3 contests of the year, and I will see if we have official starting lineups. We do, and it will be Lucas Schelling in net today. So Schelling gets the call in goal for the Dolphins, and we've seen this from CSI throughout the last couple of years, they have rotated goalkeepers, trying to find that stability in net. And perhaps a battle for the starting job come the start of conference play this weekend continues here this afternoon as Schelling gets the call in net. There's also always the possibility of classes playing a role. So you never really know who the starting goalkeeper is until the big conference games come around. Conference play begins on Saturday, just 3 days from now. We are back on the air with video over on Flow College. It will be Nick Durst and I on the call this Saturday as the Dolphins host Roberts Wesleyan University at Dolphins Soccer Park. That game, part of a doubleheader. The women will kick things off at noon, followed by the men at 2:30 p.m. So be sure to catch that game over on Flow College. As for today's game, we are bringing it to you on Sportsnet audio only. However, if you do prefer a live video stream or perhaps want to pair our commentary with the live video, you can scan the QR code on your screen right now and visit Flow College. There you can catch all of the action live. The QR code on the screen takes you to the CSI Dolphins landing page over on Flow Sports. So if you already have an account, you would log in from there and then search for the game by conference, the East Coast Conference, one of the first results that comes up, and you can easily find every CSI Dolphins match, both home and road. We thank everyone who has tuned in to our broadcast via Flow already this year, and I got my first look at the viewership numbers yesterday. We nearly doubled it from Game 1 to Game 2, so we thank everyone who has chosen to purchase a Flow College subscription. Those subscriptions do good things for us over at the College of Staten Island in terms of stepping up the quality of our broadcast. We introduced 1080p at 60 FPS video this year. We are still looking to add additional cameras. Right now, we're going through what I would call a bit of a testing phase in terms of our equipment, trying to see what works best. I have a lot of personal equipment that I'm able to utilize on game day. Once we see what works best with the setup over at the College of Staten Island, we will then invest in that equipment. And your purchasing a subscription to our broadcast over on Flow College does wonders for us in terms of helping us to upgrade that equipment. And we did so prior to the start of this season in preparation for our move to Flow. As for men's soccer, this will be their final tune-up ahead of conference play. Once again, the conference opener on Saturday against Roberts Wesleyan University. However, before that, they face American International College. That match coming up in approximately 90 seconds. The introductions of starting lineups about to take place down on the field, followed by the playing of the national anthem. So what we will do is step aside here on CSI Sportsnet, and when we come back, we will have kickoff between the College of Staten Island and American International College.
Starting in the midfield, a sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, number 7, Koraya Arslan. Starting in the midfield, a graduate student from Tangier, Morocco, number 8, Badar Mesrar. Starting up forward, a sophomore from Staten Island, New York, number 11, Foma Amara. Starting in the midfield, a sophomore from Rome, Italy, number 16, Nicolo Cimini. Starting in defense, a sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, number 22, Anthony Benvenuto. Starting in the midfield, a junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 27, Wolfgang Alvarado. In goal for the Dolphins, a junior from Bissingen, Germany, number 1, Luca Schelling. The head coach of the Dolphins is Donato Kirchi, assisted by Michael Marr and Will Reed. And now the start of the Yellow Jackets. Starting at forward, a graduate student from Wilbraham, Massachusetts, number 2, Joseph Albino. In field, a senior from Sandefjord, Norway, number 3, Cornelius Christensen. On defense, a junior from Casque, Portugal, number 4, Gui Afonso. In the midfield, a freshman from Stockholm, Austria, number 6, Gregor Schillinger. In the midfield, a senior from Somers, Connecticut, number 7, Thomas Lafayette. At forward, a sophomore from Cuneo, Italy, number 9, Pietro Bottasso. In the midfield, junior from New England, Connecticut, number 12, Tyler Ferreira. At forward, a freshman from Gothenburg, Sweden, number 15, Olivia Nota. In the midfield, a graduate student from Mooskirchen, Austria, number 18, Raphael Rothschild. At forward, a graduate student from Springfield, Massachusetts, number 20, Simba Pelletier. And in goal for your Yellow Jackets, a freshman from Valdeusho, Spain, number 1, Javier Sola Martinez. Your Yellow Jackets are coached by head coach Jake Durham, associate head coach Derek Pereira, graduate assistant coach Troy Brady, and goalkeeper coach Mario Monsalve. Fans, at this time, we ask for you to please rise as you are able to do so, and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Joe Foreman back with you from Springfield, Massachusetts, as we are just moments away from kickoff between the College of Staten Island and American International College. Once again, this is an audio-only broadcast here on CSI Sportsnet. For full video of today's game, scan the QR code, and that will take you over to the American International live stream over on Flow College. starting lineups were introduced. I tried to get you audible public address, bringing you the starting lineups as right now I am in the sunlight. It is very, very tough to read the lineups off of my laptop screen. I do have full screen rosters. Hopefully that is of some help to me in this matchup. Did not have access to a printer over at my hotel, so we came without the rosters. Probably should have thought ahead just a bit more, but we're with you here from Springfield as the Dolphins go for win number 2 this year. American International still looking for their first victory. Both of these teams looking for their first victory over the other. As I mentioned earlier, it was a 1-1 draw when these two teams met last season, or I should say 2 years ago, on Staten Island. And that is a game that we thought the Dolphins had won, something that I mentioned during our last broadcast. The Dolphins had the man advantage late in that match. And in the closing seconds, Miguel Espinoza had what appeared to be a breakaway and a go-ahead goal that followed. However, he was ruled offsides, and that effectively ended the game. The Dolphins and Yellow Jackets end up tied at 1, but still a very entertaining match the last time these two teams met, and we hope for more of the same here today from American International College. The Dolphins wearing all-black uniforms with Columbia blue socks. The front of their kits, the shirts that is, have a bit of a split between the Columbia blue and the black, but the rear, solid black all the way down. American International, very straightforward. Yellow tops, yellow shorts, one black stripe down the outside of those shorts. They are wearing black socks today, and it will be the Yellow Jackets to kick us off from Springfield. Our first road broadcast on CSI Sportsnet of the 2025 season comes from a very nice athletic complex just a bit down the road from the campus of American International College. I was in Springfield for another event on Monday night, back for the second time this week as we have kickoff. Off the kickoff, the Yellow Jackets immediately send it skyward into the attacking third. It was headed over the touchline for a Dolphins throw along the far side. Dolphins will throw into the midfield. That's Rar with it. Plays it all the way back in front of his own net. Beaten with it on his foot now. Finds Benvenuto up the near side. And his pass attempt was deflected over the touchline for another Dolphins throw. That throw travels across midfield, and it's volleyed deep into the attacking third. And that one is cleared a mile high by Javier Sola Martinez, goalkeeper for the Yellow Jackets. He came way outside of the box to make that play, though. I'll have to keep in mind, this is a football field, so he did come out of the box. However, perhaps not quite as far as it appeared. There are yard markers for football, and there are also markers for the box in terms of soccer positioning. Dolphins throwing in from the near side here after Martinez sent it out of play. And once again, the Yellow Jackets volley it into the bench area for another Dolphins throw. Throw taken by the Dolphins, immediately headed by the Yellow Jackets into the midfield. Batasso tried to send it up the pitch and sent it out of play off Benvenuto, who could not keep it in for Staten Island along the near side. It's once again a Yellow Jackets throw. Lafayette takes the throw. It was headed by Beaton onto the foot of Lafayette. He's in between two Dolphins. Connie Allen ends up down on the pitch, and a foul was called. He immediately grabbed at his forehead after going down, but that earns the Dolphins a free kick. But our Mesrar will take it. Simba Pelletier initially shadowed him, backs off, and Mesrar sends it back to Beaton, who sends it across the pitch to Ty Torres. Torres working into the midfield up the far sideline, sends it back to Beaton in the center of the pitch. Beaton sends one across midfield near side to Benvenuto. Now Mesrar a few steps behind him. He plays it into the attacking third, but nobody home on that pass. Fomba Amara was the intended target. Ball off the heel of a Yellow Jacket in the midfield, redirected the other way, and Torres wisely plays it back to Lucas Schelling, and Schelling is forced to clear it. He sent that one probably half the length of the pitch. It landed at midfield on the opposite sideline. Quick throw in by the Yellow Jackets, who work in the attacking third. Dolphins attempt to clear toward the far sideline, and the Yellow Jackets win possession there, as that was kept in play by Amara. Dolphins, however, could not keep possession, and AIC will throw. Throw by the Yellow Jackets into the attacking third was headed onto the foot of a Dolphin, but a foul was called on the attempted header. Pietro Batasso drew the foul, and it will be a free kick for AIC. Maybe a step inside that far sideline, right on the edge of the attacking third. A good free kick position here for the Yellow Jackets, and perhaps the first scoring chance if they can put it in a good spot. Batasso lined up over the ball to take this free kick. He sends it toward goal, but that one is over everybody, rolling toward the touchline, and Benvenuto did get a piece of it for CSI. So the Yellow Jackets will throw from maybe 2 yards away from that corner flag. Maybe a bit more than that as they move them up the pitch bit. Throw taken toward the edge of the box. It was headed by Benvenuto onto the foot of Wolfgang Alvarado. He's working in traffic, and he finds Ty Torres, who does clear. It's headed in the midfield. Players waiting for it to come down. Mesrar volleys. Jamini heads it, and Alvarado got a piece of it with his foot. It's still taken by the Yellow Jackets. Pelletier working up the near side into the attacking third as he is pressured along the sideline. The Dolphins send it over. It will be an AIC throw-in. Very similar spot for this throw. And again, the Yellow Jackets will throw as the Dolphins deflect it over the sideline a third time. Pelletier trying to work along the end line and lost it. Good defense there by Benvenuto, setting up a Dolphins goal kick. The goal kick was taken short onto the foot of Beaton. Now Benvenuto up the near side. His pass deflected over the touchline again by Lafayette. Benvenuto surveys and throws into the midfield. Amara plays it with the body. He is surrounded by yellow jerseys. Gets it away to Mesrar. Back to Torres. Torres up toward the far side. Asensio Cueva forced to retreat a bit over there, but he plays it forward. And again, the Dolphins forced to retreat just a bit as that's played ahead to Amara just across midfield. It was headed away by Batasso, kept in, and the Dolphins continue up the far side. And we do have a whistle. There will be a throw. And I thought that ball had traveled over, but the Dolphins wisely playing on, making sure of the call. Quick throw. Mesrar moving toward the attacking third. Was forced to give it up. Now Torres over to Beaton, right along the midfield stripe. Beaton finds Benvenuto with some room. In the attacking third, Benvenuto tried to bend one through traffic, couldn't do it. And here come the Yellow Jackets looking to counter, and unable to run down a through ball up the near side was Batasso. And if that ball's on target, could be big trouble for the Dolphins. It effectively would have been a one-on-one, as Batasso and his marker, I believe that was Beaton, they were the only two players anywhere near that area of the pitch, and maybe 2 of 4 on that side of midfield. Mesrar wanted Allen on a long ball up the pitch. It was deflected out again by the Yellow Jackets. Dolphins will throw. 7 minutes gone by in this first half. No score between the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets. What we'll do with each goal is update the live chat with the score. So for those who may be hopping into the stream late, hopefully they'll see it. If you have anything you'd like to say to our crew of one, you can do that in the live chat. Can't promise I'll get to it, but I'll certainly check it out at halftime. Need to keep my rosters open. Dolphins with it in the midfield. Ball on the foot of Amara. He's taken down, and it's going to be a free kick for Staten Island. Dolphins will take their time getting set ahead of this free kick. Free Kick taken up the near side. Benvenuto tries to play it into traffic again for a second time. The Yellow Jackets intercept and look to counter. Tyler Ferreira played it back, and AIC will regroup in their own end of the pitch. Afonso up the near side to Pelletier, right back to Afonso. Rothschild gave it up. Schillinger, long ball up toward the far side. Asensio Cueva racing toward it and is able to clear. He got there just ahead of Oliver Nota. That was a dangerous ball, and Asensio Cueva really had to speed up that sideline. I'm not sure he expected a ball like that one, but it nearly bent right around him and onto the foot of Nota. Long throw into the center of the box by AIC was headed out by the Dolphins, and just like that, it's a Yellow Jackets corner kick. Just over 9 minutes have gone by in this first half. Still no score between the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets, and a corner kick upcoming for AIC. I believe Nota is taking it, but really impossible to tell from this distance. Corner taken toward the back post and deflected with the body by Batasso. He tried to rotate toward it and square up. He could not. Goal kick Staten Island here. And I can confirm the corner kick taker was Raphael Rothschild, though his name was pronounced Rothschild, as AIC has the takeaway in the goal. Immediately off the Dolphins' goal kick, the Yellow Jackets take it, and the Yellow Jackets score. So Rothschild with the goal. Immediately after he attempted the corner, the Dolphins with a bad giveaway, and immediately it turns into a goal. That came seemingly out of nowhere. The Dolphins had the goal kick. They elected to play it short and immediately coughed it up right at the top of the 18. Rothschild made no mistake, and he drives it just beneath the outstretched arm of Lucas Schelling. That goal officially is scored in the 11th minute. And the Yellow Jackets have taken the lead on CSI 1-0. We'll get the official scoring on the goal momentarily, complete with the assist. I think they have that already, as the Dolphins were threatening. That ball did end up on the foot of Karai Arslan in the attacking third. But I think, again, the Dolphins continued to play on following what would have been a throw-in. That was indeed the case. Rothschild with the goal, and Nota with the assist, as the Dolphins give it away again along the near side, but fortunately for them, they're able to break up the counter. AIC now on the edge of the attacking third, stringing together a few passes here. Here they come. That ball sent wide of the frame. They did have an attacker streaking down the pitch. I believe that was Batasso, but that ball too far in front of him and well wide of goal. And the Dolphins, again, will set up for a goal kick. That ball rolling toward the touchline, again kept in by AIC. And once again, the Dolphins, soon after a goal kick, are on the defense. And now the Yellow Jackets have a chance for a cross. Working in toward the box and getting tripped up was Lafayette. Good clean tackle there. No protest from the Yellow Jackets as the Dolphins now look to counter. Alvarado circles back around midfield. Works toward the center of the pitch. Cimini, the recipient of a short pass, and the Dolphins nearly gave it away again. I'm not sure they realized that Beaton, one of their backs, he's at center back. He had an attacker right behind him in Batasso, and Batasso on the pass to Beaton nearly took the ball off his foot. That was very dangerous. Beaton felt him. He got rid of it quickly, but I'm not sure the Dolphins expected that. AIC on the move into the attacking third once again. Pelletier moving with some speed, gives it up. Ball redirected toward the corner of the box. Chance for a shot. Played in front and nobody home. A bit of confusion there as Ferreira had a man streaking up the far side. Got it to him, and then the pass that followed was not a good one. And the Dolphins immediately awarded a throw-in, but AIC has put the pressure on now multiple times in the first 14 minutes. Torres working up the far side. Plays it back to Schelling. Schelling for Beaton. Not much pressure being applied here by the Yellow Jackets as the Dolphins work up the near side again. They play it back to Mesrar near the center of the pitch. Long ball up the far side. Asensio Cueva heads it toward Arslan. That ball rolling along the touchline ends up out of play. It'll be a throw-in for AIC. Ball ricochets around along that near side, right where the throw-in was taken. The Dolphins nearly able to gain possession. It's off the head of Cimini, rolling toward the near side now. Pelletier dispossessed by Allen. A good tackle there. AIC throws. And Beaton had to grab a hold of Batasso there. And now Pelletier gathers the loose ball. He's moving in. And the Dolphins are whistled for a penalty. At least it appears so. And it appears not. So the whistle was not for a penalty, or perhaps it was. I thought the signal was penalty, but it looks like instead the official was pointing toward goal. It is a Dolphins goal kick. At first, the Yellow Jackets bench erupted in applause. I think they expected a penalty. They didn't get it, and the Dolphins escape big-time trouble there as they send this goal kick into the midfield. Just over 15 minutes gone by here in the first half. AIC leading 1-0. Arslan working into the attacking third now. Puts the brakes on. Looking for a passing lane. Alvarado making a run, and getting there just ahead of him was Martinez. That's as close as the Dolphins have come to their first shot attempt in this half, and it was a good look. A good run by Alvarado, a good ball from Arslan, just a bit too much on it, and that allowed Martinez to get there and dive on top of it. Dolphins passing it around the far side. Arslan with some fancy footwork there and a nice volley to himself. Now Mesrar retreating back, and he'll play it to Schelling. Schelling well beyond the 18, gives it up to Beaton. Beaton looks ahead for Benvenuto. And Martinez forced to play it with the head. It's on his foot, and Allen almost got there. And they call a handball on Martinez outside of the box. The Yellow Jackets are in disbelief. But Martinez had it hit off his wrist hand area beyond the 18. The Dolphins have been awarded a free kick, and they have stopped the clock. Now, I think the Dolphins are petitioning for something more, but they're setting up for a free kick 22 yards away, and with the yard markers for football, it's much easier to make out exactly how far out they are. So the Dolphins will attempt a free kick from 22 yards out. Mesrar will be the free kick taker. The Dolphins lined up along the back post in the middle of the 18. The ball bending that way, headed high and through the uprights. Keep in mind that Abdal Field also doubles as a football field, and that one was headed over the crossbar and straight through the uprights. First shot of the game for Staten Island, and it was a quality look, a good attempt on the free kick by Mesrar. He played it toward the back post where all of the Dolphins were positioned, and I think it was Amara who got his head on it and sent it over the bar. Big collision in the midfield as two players looked to head that ball in opposite directions. Both players okay. Dolphins do come away with it, and once again they'll work out of their own end. Schelling sends it a long way into the midfield. It was headed there by Christensen. Keeping it in along the sideline is Nota, and finally it travels over the touchline off the foot of a Dolphin. Take your pick there. The Yellow Jackets will throw. "27 minutes to go here in the first half. And they've awarded a free kick. A foul was called just inside the sideline as Schelling makes the save on what could go down as a shot. I don't believe that was the intent. I probably wouldn't score that a save myself, but you never really know. We don't have the greatest perspective where I'm stationed. I'm behind the Dolphins bench in the very top row of the bleachers. But off the grab by Schelling. The Dolphins do have possession. And again, right on the edge of the 18 was Martinez. He is playing well beyond the goal line. He will scoop it up in the 18 and will survey before making a decision on what to do with it. He will punt this one a long way. It lands well beyond midfield and was kept in by Asensio Cueva, who then draws a foul. Nicely done there by the Dolphin senior to win CSI that possession. He did not have much room to do so. Ball once again with the Dolphins. Torres working up the far side. Plays it ahead. Asensio Cueva. And his pass goes nowhere. I'm not sure who that was intended for. Perhaps a bit of a miscommunication between Dolphins there. We await another Yellow Jackets throw. And the Dolphins immediately deflect that throw right back over the touchline. AIC will try again here. Throw once again into traffic, controlled by the Yellow Jackets. They try to work backward toward midfield. Dolphins nearly took possession, but once again AIC keeps it, and now they've worked it toward the center of the pitch. Pelletier surveys, sends one toward the opposite corner. It's played with the body near the top of the box. Dribbled through traffic, shot attempt partially blocked off the foot of Albano. The ball ended up cleared into the midfield by the Dolphins, and Amara goes down. Free kick Staten Island, and I think they'd like to take this one quickly. They will. Here comes Arslan into the attacking third, and he is fouled. And that could very well draw a yellow card. And I think it will, as Arslan is down, and that was a hard challenge. We'll consult the live stats in a minute to see who picked up that yellow card. It was shown in the area of Schillinger. But we'll confirm that following this Dolphins free kick. It comes with 24:11 on the stopped clock. Arslan and Mesrar lined up over the ball. Once again, the Dolphins positioned along the far post, this time a bit wider of that far post. CSI's lone chance in this match came off a set piece just a few minutes ago. The whistle blows, and Arslan's free kick is sent a mile high. That one nowhere close. Arslan put way more on that than he needed. And that will send the ball runner out toward the woods. Beyond the frame, and it's a short goal kick taken by the Yellow Jackets. They work it up the far side. Dolphins applying some pressure. Amara nearly took it away, and the attempted clearance hits off a Dolphin. Now it's on the foot of Amara. Amara shoots wide as the Dolphins create a turnover and nearly turn that into a score. Fomba Amara with some good defense. He had some help. It was Amara who forced the pass. That was then knocked down. Both Arslan and Mesrar in the area of that pass. Got a body on it, and it ended up right back on the foot of Amara, who then sent it wide. Dolphins appear to be finding their footing now. Have done some good things in these last few minutes. And again, they take possession in the attacking third. Amara weaving through traffic, got it off his foot, and it's taken by AIC. Pelletier, strong touch up the sideline. It's a foot race, and he gets there just ahead of Benvenuto. The Dolphins forced to retreat defensively, but Pelletier will slow it down. Pelletier works through two markers and centers it onto the foot of Ferreira. Ferreira plays it wide, cross toward goal, and volleyed into the air and into the center of the box, off of Torres and into the arms of Schelling. That one volleyed by Batasso. It landed just inside of the penalty dot. It then rebounded off of Torres and straight into the arms of Schelling. Not sure if Torres directed it to his keeper intentionally or not. But the Dolphins have Amara working in the attacking third, and he forces a clearance. Amara was up there pretty much all alone, and Lafayette chose to clear it. The Dolphins earn the throw, and will get right back to work on the attack. Cimini almost dispossessed, forced to retreat now, finds Asensio Cueva just beyond midfield. He works it up the far side onto the foot of Arslan. Arslan back to Mesrar, met by a pair of Yellow Jackets. He sends it toward the box, and a bit too strong for Allen, who did have some space there. Just a bit too much on that pass. Goal kick for AIC, as that one did travel over the touchline. Just over 21 minutes to go here in this first half. That ball sent across midfield, played with the body, and an offside flag was up there. And the Dolphins did have an advantage being played in that moment, so though AIC regained possession, it will be a Dolphins free kick. Torres will set up to take it. And he sends one into the attacking third. It's headed there by Christensen. It lands between two Dolphins and ricochets off Benvenuto and Alvarado for an AIC throw along the near side. That ball rolls over the touchline quickly for another Yellow Jackets throw. And even 20 minutes on the clock in this first half. Dolphins trailing 1-0. The Yellow Jackets turning a Dolphins giveaway right in front of their own goal into the game's first score. On the other side, Dolphins utilizing a couple of set pieces to generate some scoring chances. Have not been able to convert yet. Dolphins do possess it here, as that one deflected off the official. They did stop play, and they're going to drop it onto the foot of Mesrar. So Dolphins had it, but they stopped play for the dropped ball, and immediately we pick up with just over 19 minutes to go in the half. Dolphins played all the way back to Schelling. Now Beaton. Beaton sends one up the pitch toward Benvenuto. It gets through him and his marker. Rolling deep into the attacking third. Benvenuto applying pressure, denies the clearance. AIC will throw. Long throw to a wide open Ferreira in the center of the pitch. He gets it onto the foot of Pelletier. Pelletier avoids one challenge, taking his time with it. He's drawing some whistles from the crowd with that ball handling. The Yellow Jackets now switch play to the far side. Dolphins continuing to pressure. It's played all the way back to Martinez in goal. Afonso once again sends it toward the far side. Christensen, long pass up the pitch, finds its target. Batasso, quick turn. Looking to work past Torres. Batasso's shot saved by Schelling. As he had Torres draped all over him, Batasso put a quality shot on target. And Schelling leaping to make the save. Denies AIC goal number 2. And immediately after that, we have a whistle and a clock stoppage for a foul in the midfield. Amara getting a talking to from the official. No yellow card issued. Meanwhile, we'll confirm that booking from earlier if we can find it. I do believe it was Schillinger. I do not see the yellow card in the live stats, but it was Schillinger because the last AIC foul, in fact, the last 2 were both committed by Schillinger. Takeaway by the Dolphins along the near side, but Arslan couldn't keep it on his foot. Immediately his hands go down to his knees. He knows that was an opportunity missed. And that's generally how Arslan helped the Dolphins get even. The other day, a takeaway, albeit a takeaway in the attacking third for the Dolphins. Quickly turn that around into a goal. As Amara takes one away. He's moving in. He has space. Amara is dispossessed by Christensen. Strong tackle near the top of the box, and Christensen did not even have to slide. He cut off that angle without needing to attempt the slide tackle. It looked like Amara had a clear opportunity on net, and he is denied by the senior midfielder for the Yellow Jackets. That is a big defensive play as the Dolphins appeared poised for an attempt at getting even. Dolphins have it again in the midfield, but couldn't keep it. Nota keeps it along the far side. And Amara, after appearing a bit shaken up following the shot attempt that wasn't, ended up down. And he is flat on his back around the 40-yard line. And that will prompt the stoppage. So with that, we'll get a look at the split box thus far. Each team with 3 shots in the match. Dolphins have yet to put one on goal. The only Yellow Jacket shot on target found the back of the net. 3 saves. I should say no saves in the game for either goalkeeper. Both have faced 3 shots. Meanwhile, the clock was stopped at 16:20. And from the looks of things right now, it appears that Amara is simply cramping. They attend to him on the field. Dolphins in this one got off to a bit of a sluggish start, but since then they've picked it up. AIC, in addition to their goal-scoring chance, have had a couple more quality chances as well, best of which was probably that last shot. They're still working on Amara. Appears to be an issue with his left leg. And he is going to walk off under his own power. So we'll try and get a look and see at who came in for him. And I think it's Joshua Zapata who has replaced Amara. And indeed, that is the case. So Zapata in and Amara out. Amara's played well in this one, but he will certainly lament that last attempt that he did not get off approaching goal. Maybe got a little bit greedy, but it was a good play by Christensen as well to deny that goal-scoring chance. And we resume action with the Yellow Jackets in possession and just over 16 minutes to go in this first half. The Yellow Jackets working up the near side, looking for Pelletier. He has it in the attacking third, shadowed by Beaton and Benvenuto. And he lost it. The clearance ends up on the body of Rothschettel, and AIC will possess again. Surveying is Afonso. Short pass. Lafayette. He one-touched it onto the foot of Batasso, and his attempt pinballed off of one of his own teammates, it appears. I thought it pinballed around off a Dolphin, but instead it'll be a Staten Island goal kick. It was one big miscue that put the Dolphins behind in this one. They've yet to get even. They trailed against AIC a couple of years ago, got even in that match, and settled for the draw. Under 15 minutes to go in the half now. Ball on the foot of Martinez, the Yellow Jackets goalkeeper. Yellow Jackets quickly passing it around, giving Zapata a workout in his forward spot. And Alvarado almost made them pay. Came sprinting down and almost had a takeaway in a really dangerous spot. The Yellow Jackets do recover and work into the attacking third, playing from the far side. They've centered it near the middle of the pitch, onto the foot of an attacker who did not look to shoot. And Rothschettel sent it off a Dolphin and over the end line. So I thought, without a doubt, he would look to shoot it. He was centered with goal off of a series of crisp, quick passes from his teammates. Instead, it deflected off of a Dolphin. Perhaps he did shoot it, but it ends up being an AIC corner kick. And now the clock has been stopped again. Looked like there may have been a verbal exchange in net between members of both teams, and the official will have a word with both sides. The clock is stopped at 13:46. Corner kick upcoming. Sent over everybody again. That's the second corner kick where AIC has put it nowhere close. Dolphins had it deep in the opposite corner, couldn't clear it, and now the Yellow Jackets will get to work again in the attacking third. They play it toward the center of the pitch. Ball now on the foot of Afonso. Near side to Lafayette. Short pass, Pelletier. Pelletier trying to get around Benvenuto, couldn't do it. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. The Dolphins don't agree, and the clock has been stopped again. They bring a stop to it at 13:02. And off the throw, two players went down. Strong challenge by Beaton. It does force AIC to retreat, and again, Martinez way outside the 18. He sends one about half the length of the pitch into the midfield. Dolphins come away with it there. And a whistle comes in. It's going to be a Dolphins free kick. They'll back them up toward the midfield stripe with 12.5 to go in half number one. Beaton off the free kick over to Benvenuto. Benvenuto onto the foot of Arslan, and he tripped up over the ball. That one had a lot of steam on it. And now on the counter, AIC is denied by Beaton. Sliding attempt there by Beaton, not allowing the ball to get onto the foot of Batasso. Dolphins do concede the throw there, but at least for CSI, they are able to regroup. Short throw. Ball still in the air. Allen gets it onto the foot of Zapata. He volleys it for Alvarado, and sprinting back to deny Alvarado was Albano. Dolphins have come oh so close on 2 or 3 occasions, have not been able to get that huge opportunity yet. AIC looked for an opportunity of their own, but a strong touch. Sends the ball into the arms of Schelling. Now, I'm going to do my best not to butcher last names, but this one is presenting a bit of a challenge, especially with me having to squint at my computer screen, but we'll work on that at halftime. 11 minutes to go here in the first half. That one headed into the midfield. Torres circles back and finds Beaton. Ball off the rear of Arslan's head. And it ends up in the air, back on Arslan's foot. Look what I found, he says, as Dolphins send it past everybody and into the arms of Martinez in goal. Afonso. Denied by Mesrar. Zapata back to Mesrar. Dolphins have a chance here. Mesrar off of Allen, and perhaps he was looking for Zapata. Allen got in the middle of it. Now Mesrar toward goal and saved. First shot on target for the Dolphins in this one. That one from a pretty long way out. Mesrar from, I'd say, about 23 out. AIC sent it across midfield. It's headed toward the sideline. Kept in by the Yellow Jackets. And again, they tightrope it. It's still in play over there as they work toward the center of the pitch and play it back to Martinez again. That one right off Beaton's forehead. Or make that Cimini in the midfield. That one was sent from goal straight onto the head of Cimini, and Mesrar commits a foul there. Free kick AIC, just over 9 minutes to play before halftime. Dolphins trailing 1-0. Once again, the Yellow Jackets working along the near side, pressured by CSI. Pelletier off his heel. Great one-touch pass. And Beaton again is able to deny Batasso. He's been working hard along that wing against him throughout this match as Beaton slides in again, and coming down to take it is Ferreira. And his attempt off the upright and into the back of the net. The uprights being, of course, the field goal uprights. Those not being used today, but part of football game day experience. Nothing more than a lawn ornament here this afternoon. Goal kick, Staten Island. 8:12 to go here in the first half. Substitutions coming on as well. Brian Palaio in for the Dolphins. Quickly gets his first touch as he volleys it onto the head of Zapata. Now Arslan sends it in the air. Mesrar overran it just a bit. Christensen heads it toward the sideline, and Mesrar was fouled. The AIC bench is incensed. And for the second time in this match, the Dolphins are going to get a free kick from this spot. This is as close to identical as it gets to where the Dolphins took their free kick earlier in the match. That set up a header that traveled high over the crossbar. Mesrar and Palaio lined up over the ball. Whistle blows as the clock ticks down below 7 minutes. Free kick, Staten Island. And Puleo takes it left-footed, saved by Martinez. Shot attempt there, not much of a challenge for the Yellow Jackets goalkeeper. And he will toss it toward the near side for Lafayette. Schillinger for Pelletier. And again, Pelletier trying to utilize that heel to keep it in. Couldn't do it. But he has it right back. And Beaton says, "You're not going anywhere," as he sent it probably 2/3 the length of the pitch there. AIC had it in their own end, but immediately looked to send it into the attacking third, denied by the Dolphins. Ball bouncing around in the midfield. And it ends up with AIC. Beaton breaks up the pass, and the Dolphins get to work up the far side. Ball sent across midfield by AIC, and Dolphins send it out of play. We await a Yellow Jackets throw-in with 5.5 to go. Before halftime, that is. And the clock is stopped again. It's a Yellow Jacket substitution. Following the substitution, the AIC throw ends up with neither team gaining clear possession. Finally, the Yellow Jackets have it. It's Pelletier up the near side. Short pass up the sideline for Sandu. Back onto the foot of Pelletier. Dangerous spot. He shoots it. Saved. Headed on goal and kept out. What a play by Luis Asensio Cueva. He saved a goal. The Dolphins senior with the back of his goalkeeper there. Schelling fully extended to make the save on the shot by Pelletier. It was headed back on target, and Asensio Cueva sprinting across the goal line got a foot on it to keep it out. It is a corner kick for AIC. Under 4.5 minutes to go until halftime. Corner toward the near post. Asensio Cueva had it. He was grabbed by Afonso. Play continues, and the Dolphins are awarded the free kick. Good foul there by Afonso. Beaton will take the free kick with 4 minutes to go until halftime. Dolphins work it sideline to sideline in their own end. And now that one travels long up the pitch. Mesrar played it with the body. The flag is up. Play is continuing. And finally, the whistle blows. So that play continued for quite a while after the flag was up. And I was able to pick it up because the lines judge is right in front of me. 3:20 to go before half. Free kick to be taken by Martinez. And he shows off the boot there. That one lands at about the 10 or 15 yard line. Pelletier is there, but so is Schelling. And Schelling immediately shows off his leg and sends one back the other way. Volleyed over his head by Ferreira in the other direction. Puleo gets it onto the foot of Asensio Cueva. Ball in the air, headed in the midfield. Pelletier played it with the body. Pelletier was fouled. Free kick, AIC, under 2.5 to go before halftime. It's played back to Martinez. Zapata closing in. Martinez sends it into the attacking third. It's headed straight up into the air twice, and it lands on the foot of Arslan. Arslan dispossessed. Schillinger got a foot in there. Now Pelletier, surrounded by Dolphins, gives it up. Played back to Lafayette. Lafayette toward the center of the pitch. Schillinger had to race over and get to it. Now Christensen toward the far side. Albano, short pass. And here come the Yellow Jackets now in the attacking third. It develops quickly, but some miscommunication there on the attempted pass by Ferreira. He and Nicolatides not on the same page. And again, Martinez, a mile out. It hits off the side of his foot and fortunately did not find the foot of a Dolphin. Zapata onside, then probably could have been whistled for a handball, and he was. That's a really tough break for Zapata. It ricocheted off his foot and straight up onto his elbow. Free kick for AIC with 60 seconds remaining in this first half. The Yellow Jackets lead at 1-0. That one travels into the attacking third again. Dolphins will have 45 seconds as they possess it up the far side. Poor pass by Asensio Cueva, easily taken away by Schillinger. Nicolatides works toward the center of the pitch. Switches play near side, Pelletier. First touch with the body onto his foot. Working toward Benvenuto. Arslan joins defensively. 25 seconds to go in the half. Schillinger toward the top of the box. It was on the foot of Ferreira. He was dispossessed. And it's sent back into the midfield by Staten Island with 15 seconds to play in the half. Now on the foot of Martinez, Afonso, and this should do it for half number one. Afonso, long ball toward the top of the box. 3 seconds to go, and no angle for a shot. That will do it, as Batasso could not get a quality chance off around Beaton and Benvenuto. We have reached halftime here in Springfield. At Abdow Field, AIC leads CSI by a score of 1-0. When we come back, the second half in this NCAA Division II men's soccer non-conference matchup. And we are back from American International College in Springfield, Massachusetts. Once again, this is Joe Foreman on the call for CSI Sportsnet, bringing you exclusive audio-only coverage of today's game between the Dolphins and the Yellow Jackets. It is 1-0 American International over Staten Island as we get set to begin the second half here in Springfield. It was a Dolphins giveaway in front early in that first half, the 11th minute to be exact. That set up Rafael Ross-Chettle with an opportunity from in close. He made no mistake on the shot attempt, and American International seized the early one-goal lead. The Dolphins had a couple of chances, one coming off a set piece. Fomba Amara headed it high over the crossbar. They had another shot attempt off the foot of Badar Mezrar that was saved. And late in that first half, the Yellow Jackets had what was arguably the best opportunity of the match for either team. That did not result in a goal. They had a ball that landed in the box. It was saved off the rebound, I should say. The ball was shot, saved, rebounded onto the head of another attacker, and that rebound set up what was a goal-saving play by Luis Asensio Cueva. Asensio Cueva cleared it away over the sideline, preventing the second Yellow Jackets goal and keeping the score 1-0. Dolphins will kick off to begin the second half. CSI was attacking left to right in half number one. Relative from my vantage point, they will attack right to left in half number two. And they will possess it first as we begin the second half here at Abdow Field. And immediately the second half kickoff was sent up the pitch by the Dolphins off the head of a Yellow Jacket and out of play. Dolphins throw quickly and work it back toward the opposite sideline. Torres, short pass for Alvarado, gets it right back. And his attempted pass deflects off a Yellow Jacket. Beaton was back all alone defensively, and he wisely clears. That soccer ball was sent a long ways away, and the Yellow Jackets will throw. Taking his time with it is Albano. Looking for somewhere to go. Throws it into the box over everybody. And Schelling elects to scoop it up. Schelling looks and sends one out beyond the midfield stripe onto the foot of Zapata. Arslan tried to get a piece, could not. It's cleared away over the far side by AIC. Another Dolphins throw coming up. Off the throw, it's Benvenuto. Up towards Zapata. It's over his head. And once again redirected over the touchline by AIC. Short Dolphins throw taken quickly. Benvenuto for Paleo in the midfield. Back to Torres. Torres working forward across the midfield stripe. Has Asensio Cueva. Alvarado got tangled up, and he did draw a foul. Call goes against Albano. Free kick, Staten Island. Ball spotted right beyond the 25-yard line marker, and the football line's helpful in discerning distance today. Mezrar for Asensio Cueva. And there's a good tackle by Nota to dispossess Asensio Cueva, who was looking to cross. And now the Yellow Jackets have the counter well underway. Schelling, though, well aware, and came out to the top of the 18 to clear it. Nota was closing in with a chance to shoot. Dolphins goalkeeper wise to clear that one. Second time the Dolphins have been forced into a clearance in this area of the pitch. AIC throwing in from the attacking third. The last throw they took was into the box. Dolphins immediately take it away off this throw. That one was headed by Schillinger, redirected toward the center of the pitch. Ross-Chettle was able to sneak that through a pair of Dolphins, and now Pelletier looking to move forward, and he draws a foul. Clock stopped, and a yellow card will be shown here. Benvenuto picks up the yellow. That foul took place less than a yard outside of the 18. Dangerous moment there if you're the Dolphins. Very nearly a penalty, and the Dolphins earlier in the match had a play much like that one take place in the 18. AIC began applauding over on their bench. They thought they had a penalty kick upcoming, and the official pointed toward goal, which was very close to the penalty kick signal. No penalty. And now a free kick from, it appears, inches outside of the 18 here. Afonso and Pelletier lined up over the ball. Pelletier, free kick saved. Schelling had to extend once again, but he keeps that shot out, and it remains a one-goal game. Quick give and go along the near side by AIC. And a good defensive play there by Cimini to deny Nota. Now Ferreira weaving through traffic. Torres clears. The ball does not travel over the touchline on the near side. Alvarado waited for it to do so. The Dolphins earn a throw, and once again the Yellow Jackets in disbelief. Throw pinballed off a pair of Yellow Jackets, and Asensio Cueva will try again. Throw by Asensio Cueva, travels over midfield. Paleo got a head on it, and now Cimini sends it ahead into the attacking third, where it is headed by Christensen into the arms of Martinez. Martinez punts it out across midfield, headed by Torres. Arslan redirected it with his head, and it comes down on the foot of Schillinger. He finds Nota. Nota over to Albano. Short, quick passing here by AIC along the near side. They work back toward the midfield stripe. Schillinger now sends it toward the far side. Lafayette back the other way. Christensen. Christensen right along the midfield stripe. Sent it into the attacking third. It was headed by Benvenuto. Pelletier lurking behind him, and Benvenuto was able to keep it away from him. Now Arslan's pass denied in the midfield. Strong challenge by Arslan. And able to keep it was Lafayette. Now Pelletier working with it up the far side into the attacking third. Pelletier working against Cimini. There's a quick give and go in the corner. Volleyed in front. It travels over Asensio Cueva and Nota. And down goes Asensio Cueva as the Dolphins will earn a throw. Make that a free kick. Foul called ahead of the ball rolling over the touchline. Torres will take the free kick. It's a long one. It lands just beyond midfield. Headed out of play by the Yellow Jackets, and the Dolphins will throw with 39 minutes remaining. Throw played short. Zapata almost got a hand on it. Asensio Cueva with a good ball for Cimini in traffic, but he couldn't keep it on his foot. And now the Yellow Jackets secure it. Pelletier for Ferreira. Nota along the near side gives it up. Again, quick passing by the Yellow Jackets and a takeaway this time by the Dolphins. Alvarado pressured from behind. Finds Paleo. Arslan fends off one challenge and collides with a second Yellow Jacket, and Arslan is called for the foul. Ended up losing his footing just a bit, and on his way down to the turf, he collided with a Yellow Jacket. Free kick was taken by AIC. They work in their own end. Afonso sends one a long way up the far side. Good run by Pelletier. He tracks it down with some space. Benvenuto there defensively for CSI as Pelletier works into the box. His shot blocked. Ferreira with it now off the rebound. Good defense there by Benvenuto, denying Pelletier a shooting lane, and Mesrar with a strong challenge takes it away. Zapata had room, but he couldn't knock it down with his head, as Mesrar got it to him quickly with plenty of space. The ball bit high, he had to leap, and just couldn't keep it down with the head. As substitutions will come on with just over 37 minutes remaining. Fomba Amara, who appeared to cramp up a bit earlier, will check in for the Dolphins. When play resumes, it will be a Dolphins throw. Dolphins have it in the midfield. Working along the near side. Alvarado circles back toward the center of the pitch, and Paleo has Cimini, and Cimini is offsides. Free kick for AIC, played back to their goalkeeper. Dolphins bench, albeit perhaps partial and a biased bunch, were shocked at the offsides call. Second Dolphin substitution as well that came on along with Amara. Kareem Medito checked into the game as well, and now we have a Dolphin down along the far side. That might be Arslan. And they will stop the clock at 35-25. Arslan back to his feet quickly. Shakes it off and appears okay. That ball sent into the midfield. Chipped in the air. Arslan has it land on his foot. Now Torres. Back to Schelling. Right at the edge of the 18. Beaten. Sends one a long way. It was headed back in the other direction by Christensen. Ball comes down on the foot of Lafayette. Redirected. Pelletier ahead of a couple of Dolphins. He's moving in on goal. Puts the brakes on. Working against two markers. And a strong tackle by Torres prevents a shot opportunity. Well done there by the Dolphins to deny Pelletier. It looked like he had a shooting lane. He was wide of the post. It was going to be a tough angle, especially for a shooter who might prefer his right foot. And that last ball was sent over the end line by Pelletier. So Dolphins will get a goal kick here after narrowly avoiding another AIC scoring chance. Ball headed in the midfield. Played with the body by Nota. He finds Ferreira in traffic, and he's forced to send it into no man's land over the near side. Asensio Cueva will throw in. Finds Medito. He plays it back to Schelling. Beaten. Working toward the far side. Was given some room. That's closing. And plays it back to Schelling again. Now Medito. He's looking to get into one. Sends it up the near side off target. And over the touchline, straight by Asensio Cueva. Throw in AIC. Batasso tangled up with Medito. And both players went down. Dolphins had it for a moment up the pitch in the attacking third, but could not gain possession. It was off of Mesrar, and then Amara was over there giving chase, but never a real threat. As we have some words being exchanged now. Pelletier and Torres are going at one another verbally. And a yellow card is shown to Pelletier. It is a free kick for AIC along that sideline. And the head referee is going to confer with the lines judge. I'm not exactly sure what they could be discussing here, as one is stationed along the near side, a long ways away from where that exchange took place. Perhaps the head official telling him to look for something. But AIC will take the free kick back toward their own end. They try and work up the far sideline to the attacking third, but the Dolphins crowding them in that area. They'll now look to play it back to their keeper, Martinez. Amara closing in on him, and he sends it right past Amara. AIC will try up the far sideline once again. And again, they are denied, this time by Torres. Martinez way out of goal again, clears one almost out of the entire complex. It's a good thing they have an additional wall along the roadway there. As the Dolphins were looking for a streaking Alvarado off the throw, couldn't get it to him. Alvarado was working up the opposite wing, making an aggressive run, and the ball for him was headed away by AIC. It ends up at the other end of the pitch for a Dolphins throw. Asensio Cueva to take the throw again. It's a short one onto the foot of Alvarado. Asensio Cueva sends one off of a yellow jacket, and it lands right on Alvarado's foot. Dolphins looking to generate something here. Mesrar up the pitch toward Arslan, but that ball curves right into the arms of Martinez. No chance for a connection there. Yellow Jackets working quickly and almost gave it away, and the clock will be stopped. And for the second consecutive year, the Dolphins will have a man advantage, as Schillinger has been shown a second yellow card. I think he got the bottom side of that cleat up, and he heads to the bench as the Dolphins, for the second straight season, will play with a man advantage against AIC. This time they are left with 31:08. Last year it was a few short minutes. I mentioned it during the pregame, 2:26. This year they will have over 31 minutes with the man advantage. They will also have a free kick coming up here. Here we go. Dolphins lining up along the top of the 18. This free kick coming from right at the center of the pitch. About 30 yards out. It's played toward the top of the box, redirected onto the foot of Mesrar. He avoids a challenge. Ball on the foot of Amara. Shot blocked, and it rebounds a long way into the midfield. Palaeo redirects it ahead, and Asensio Cueva nearly put it right on the foot of Amara again. A couple of nice redirects there by the Dolphins as AIC looks to counter. Arslan will clear, and CSI will keep it in play along the far side. Alvarado wanted Mesrar. Not enough on that ball. CSI working, attacking third, but again, just too many yellow jerseys. Dolphins look to move very quickly there on the attack, and may have left some of their attackers behind a bit. Palaeo Tried to switch play toward the far side, but it rebounds onto the foot of Cimini. Cimini has Arslan. Arslan being given some room, works toward the center of the pitch. Arslan goes down. Cimini shoots, and his shot is saved. Well, you can see the man advantage already paying dividends for the Dolphins, and the aggressiveness has been dialed up. Martinez will certainly take his time, and I'm sure that will be a recurring theme the rest of the way. He played it all the way to the opposite end of the pitch. It was headed there by Beaton. Torres kept it in along the far side, and the Dolphins possess again in the midfield. Medito works into the midfield. Now Asensio Cueva. Center of the pitch, Pelayo. He has Mesrar, and that's exactly where he goes with it, up the opposite wing. Mesrar into the box. Amaro was closing in. It's cleared away. Just kept off of his foot. Beaten in the midfield for Cimini. Short pass, Mesrar. He may try again into the box. Nifty dribbling there to gain some space. Moving forward, he has Asensio Cueva. Mesrar with it back on his foot. Given room again. Working toward the top of the box, and he wanted Alvarado to make a run. Alvarado did not. Not a bad idea as the Dolphins continue to apply pressure with the man advantage. Martinez sends one all the way to the opposite goal on a few hops, maybe 2 or 3 bounces. Beaten up the far side, and here come the Dolphins again. Arslan working up the sideline. Now circles back a bit and gives it up to Beaton. Cimini working toward the near side, has Asensio Cueva. Right back to Cimini. Has quite a bit of room here. Streaking Torres into the box. Torres volley, and it's knocked away by AIC. Headed again by Torres. Mesrar got a piece, and the Dolphins possess. Pelayo short pass. Cimini into the box. Heavy traffic. Down goes Arslan, and a foul was called. This one occurred once again, inches outside of the 18, and the Dolphins will have a chance to get even on a free kick coming up. The Dolphins, with the man advantage, have been putting the pressure on in a big, big way, hoping for the payoff on this free kick. AIC with a wall of 7. They'll take one man off of that wall now, make it 2. That leaves them with 5. The ball placed inches outside of the 18, right in the center of the pitch. Mesrar and Pelayo lined up alongside the ball. Mesrar, low shot, blocked by the wall. Cimini, over everybody. Beaton was there, and the flag is up. Beaton was offsides. And it will be a free kick for AIC. They also have a player down. It's Afonso, and the clock is stopped at 26:12. That will give the Yellow Jackets a chance to regain their composure here. Meanwhile, on the pitch, it looks like Afonso has removed his captain's armband, perhaps knowing that he will be coming off here. The Yellow Jackets now gathering back at the bench area. And they continue to attend to Afonso, who is walking off under his own power now, so that's good to see. When play resumes, there will be 26:12 on the clock. Dolphins still trailing by a goal, but have been knocking on the door for the last several minutes after Schillinger picked up a second yellow. Looks like we're about set to resume play here as both teams make their way back onto the pitch. See if we can make out who the injury substitution was. I think it's Leonard Ribby-Williams, who has come on for Afonso, at least temporarily. Afonso walking along his sideline right now. No indication yet on whether or not he will come back into the game, but it's going to be a goal kick for AIC. They've been under immense pressure these last several minutes. The ball rolling toward the CSI goal, and Pelletier, who was well wide of the post, tried to shoot it off of Schelling. And that's a big advantage to having a goalkeeper who can play the ball that far up the pitch. It's instant attack if it takes a good bounce. And Pelletier, though he didn't have any angle to shoot it, almost was able to play it off of Schelling and earn his team a corner. Off a CSI goal kick, the Dolphins have it in the midfield. They work up the far side. They'll now play it backwards, just past the midfield stripe, beaten to Medito. Now Asensio Cueva for Alvarado. Alvarado working toward the center of the pitch, did not have room, and it's cleared away again by the Yellow Jackets. Medito across the midfield stripe. Wanted Asensio Cueva. It was partially deflected, and that was enough to send it over the touchline for a Dolphins throw. Ball on the foot of Arslan in the box and cleared away again by AIC. Quick throw taken by the Dolphins. See if they look to play this one in. Paleo will. Cimini diving header, and it rolls in. Two Dolphins made a run, and I believe it was Alvarado. Alvarado and Cimini both attempting diving headers, and I believe it was Wolfgang Alvarado for the second straight match. Wolfgang Alvarado has netted a Dolphins equalizer for the second straight match. And we are all knotted up at one with 24:15 remaining. But hold on a second. The goal has been waved off. The Dolphins were set to kick off, and the lines judge has ruled that a handball occurred. At least I believe that was the signal. The goal was announced. The Yellow Jackets were ready to kick off. I misspoke. I said the Dolphins were about to kick off. The Yellow Jackets were ready to kick off. The Dolphins were ready for kickoff, and instead they are denied on a handball. Goal kick, AIC. And we remain in a one-goal game. Yellow Jackets over the Dolphins, but it has been 7 minutes of nonstop pressure. The Dolphins unrelenting with the man advantage. CSI possesses the ball again in the midfield. Asensio Cueva. Short pass, Alvarado. That ball sent into the box, nobody home. The lines judge on the far side made the call on the handball. And AIC sure was taking their time making substitutions. Finally, they stopped the clock at 23:15. The Dolphins are still trying to get an explanation for the handball. At least I think that was the call, because immediately the head official tapped his elbow and indicated the goal had been waved off. I think it's probably a good thing that the lines judge is on the opposite side, because were that not the case, Dolphins would be adamant about getting an explanation. All they can do right now is petition the head official as the clock is stopped again. They've stopped the clock again as the ball was cleared. Now AIC once again was taking their time. There was an available ball. It looks like they were waiting for the cleared ball just to try and kill some clock. And they have to be careful in terms of the time they've taken, as the throw-in was headed away by Medito. Chance for a cross here, though, off the deflection for AIC. The Dolphins all over it. And it will be a Dolphins throw just a few yards away from the corner flag in their own end. Dolphins working slowly up the near side. 22.5 minutes to go as we have reached the midway point of the second half. Dolphins still with a man advantage after the Schillinger red card, his second yellow of the game, prompting that red at 31:08. A foul was called against CSI, and again, AIC will wisely take their time. Dolphins have turned up the pressure. AIC has brought their pace of play with possession of the ball to a grinding halt. That one headed in the air and headed a second time off the free kick. The Yellow Jackets did make substitutions. They had 3 or 4 players come on at once, which prompted the clock stoppage. Keegan McGonigal among them is in the game, as we have another foul called against AIC along the far side. Dolphins earn a free kick, but I'll get you those substitutions as I pick them up. McGonigal, one of them. Tyler Napolitano in as well. Checking in for a second time as the Dolphins have a chance here into the top of the box. We'll wait just a moment, and it's cleared away. Souvenir for spectators there. Georgios Nicolatidis checked in as well. Second time he's been in the match. Got some action in the first half. I believe there was one more Yellow Jacket substitution as well. Get that in a minute. I think that's number 22, Jack McKinnon. Meanwhile, the Dolphins were at a standstill in the midfield. Asensio Cueva now looks to cross, and there's just nobody there. The Dolphins several times already have looked to send a cross wide of the back post from this near sideline wing, and they've yet to connect with an attacker on any of those. Pinballs around in the midfield, and the Dolphins take it. Alvarado short pass Mesrar. Mesrar trying to play Amara through, but the lane simply was not there. And it's cleared a long way by AIC. Quick throw by the Dolphins. We're under 20 minutes remaining in this match. CSI still trailing by a goal. And looking to change that here, as that is indeed McKinnon, the final of 4 substitutions for AIC at the previous stoppage. He cleared it over the far side for a Dolphins throw. It's taken quickly, lands on the foot of Palaio. Now Asensio Cuevo looking for Mesrar. Mesrar has some room, may look to cross. Instead, works toward the touchline, running out of space. Palaio will cross. Back post over Alvarado and onto the foot of a Yellow Jacket. They do clear into the midfield, but CSI, they're waiting. And a loose ball finds its way onto the foot of Nicolatides. Pelletier now was retreating toward the midfield stripe. McGonigal gets it away. Christensen got rid of it quickly and has it right back. Ball sent skyward. And right back the other way by CSI. Albano. Played it a long way up the pitch, but Pelletier, the only attacker up there, going to be tough to get something going with him stationed there all alone. If anyone can do it, it's him, but won't be an easy task. As that's knocked away from Arslan, it rolls into the corner. Amara again closing in, forcing Martinez to clear. Torres played it with the body. Gets some help from Schelling. Torres with it. Once again, working up the far side slowly. Short pass. And now Palaio works into the midfield. And there's a good ball for Alvarado. He is on sides, and here come the Dolphins. Alvarado shoots and scores! Wolfgang Alvarado not denied this time. And a great ball from Palaio set him up. Alvarado did the rest as he dribbled from the edge of the 18 toward the center of the pitch. And Alvarado delivers one into the bottom left corner as CSI now gets even at 1 goal per side. What an attacking play by the Dolphins to string together the passes in their own end. Palaio got moving with momentum across midfield and delivered a strike right onto the foot of Alvarado. He made no mistake after receiving that pass, getting in to prime scoring position and netting the equalizer. For the second consecutive match, Alvarado has delivered a game-tying goal, and we are all knotted up at 1 in Springfield. Dolphins continue to apply pressure to the Yellow Jackets in their own end, forcing a long ball up the pitch. And the Dolphins send it right back into the midfield. Alvarado with some space. Alvarado for Amara. One-touch pass, Alvarado, right back to Amara. Amara, quick turn. Dolphins have an advantage. Amara for Mesrar. He has room. Edge of the 18. Working toward the touchline. Cross in front. And the attempt was stifled by Martinez. That ball never made it to the far post as Martinez dove on top of it. .16 minutes remaining. Dolphins and Yellow Jackets knotted up at 1 as we had a whistle for a foul. Beaton was taken down as the Yellow Jackets now are trying to get more aggressive with their limited chances in the attacking third, but outside of a foul like that one, it's going to be tough. You get too aggressive or get aggressive at the wrong time with CSI holding the man advantage, and in an instant, the Dolphins can turn a man advantage into a goal lead. The Yellow Jackets have not had any chances since the red card, and the Dolphins have been relentless in their attacking pressure. At even strength earlier in the match, particularly the first 20 minutes, it was all AIC. Dolphins began to come alive late in the first half, and with the red card, their momentum has not slowed. Alvarado looking to bend one around that back line of AIC onto the foot of Amara, could not connect with him. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets with under 15 minutes remaining. Once again, Martinez takes his time, and he sends one well beyond midfield, headed by Beaton. Cimini whiffed on that attempt to send it up the pitch, but he gets it to Paleo. Torres, back to Beaton. Now Medito. Medito given plenty of space. Has Asensio Cueva. Paleo looking for Cimini, and the flag is up. Cimini disagrees, but he will have to relent on that run. Martinez will send this toward the far side, headed by Torres, and that's a really dangerous attempt there, because if Torres finds a Dolphin off his head, you're effectively down a man for a few moments. Defensively, that is. But AIC again looking to generate something on the attack, and that will force a Dolphins clearance. I'm not sure it's late enough yet for the Yellow Jackets to get very aggressive here, but it's not often you'll get a throw in from this position with the man disadvantage, and you don't know how many more opportunities you'll get to position your attackers where you'd like off of a throw like this. And I think with the throw going into the box, that's the right play. Gives you the easiest path to recovering defensively if necessary, and they will indeed need to recover defensively as the Dolphins have it in the midfield. Alvarado did a good job to keep it away from a pair of challenges, but that does allow the Yellow Jackets to get back defensively. The Yellow Jackets in a very, very defensive look here. They have, I think I counted 8 positioned well beyond the ball, between the ball and goal. Standard for a man disadvantage in an even match, but still striking to see when this team early in the match was able to generate so many chances and a lot of those aggressive runs that resulted in those opportunities just not possible with the man disadvantage. And if you're going to try it, it comes with great risk. But AIC did have a takeaway momentarily off a Dolphins throw, and CSI just too much. As that ball is sent across midfield, both teams waiting for it to come down. Mesrar has it. He's being assaulted right now. There's a strong sliding tackle by McKinnon. Asensio Cueva circles away from a challenge. Pelletier all over him, and he clears it over the near side. The wind picking up a bit in the second half of this match as well, as the sun begins to set over Springfield. We have 11 minutes to go. Amara in traffic off the Dolphins throw, got it away. Mesrar with it, surrounded by 3 Yellow Jackets. Pelletier with it on his foot. And again, AIC will clear. Once again, possession ends with the ball on the foot of a Dolphin. They work it all the way back to Beaton. Beaton sends one a long way, played with the body. It was knocked down by Ribby Williams. And a foul is whistled against Torres. Free kick AIC with just shy of 10.5 minutes remaining. Ball bouncing around the midfield. Alvarado with room along the near side keeps it in. Cimini now just shy of the midfield stripe. Switches play to the opposite side, but Torres could not connect with Arslan on the attempted pass along that far sideline, and AIC will take possession right back. Torres pressuring, and Nicolatides did a good job to at least keep it away from the Dolphins, and Schelling ended up very far out of net, beaten defending Napolitano, the attacker, and fortunately no angle for Napolitano to shoot, as AIC is being forced to retreat with possession here. And you get the sense that barring a major lapse by the Dolphins, it's going to be really tough for AIC to generate anything on the attack. And I think what they just attempted there is their best bet, as the Dolphins will be whistled for a foul here. The clock is stopped, and Cimini is shown the yellow. He didn't have much of a choice, and I was just about to say, what they tried there was their best bet. The Dolphins forced the Yellow Jackets to retreat. The ball ended up in their own end, edge of the attacking third, that being the attacking third for the Dolphins. And they sent it a long way up toward Pelletier, up toward Napolitano, and it took a good bounce. It landed between a couple of Dolphins, and they were forced to commit the foul. And now, a well-struck free kick, and AIC can regain the lead. This is a big moment in this game for both teams. The Yellow Jackets may not get many more chances with the man disadvantage. And this free kick is from, I'd say, about 24 yards out, aligned with the post nearest to me. As that one is off the bar. Schelling had no chance, watched it sail over him and off of the crossbar. It rebounds all the way out, right on the edge of the attacking third, but wow. What a strike on that free kick. And frustrated with himself is Christensen, and he very nearly put AIC back in front. Schelling couldn't do anything. He was stationed in the middle of net, perhaps favoring the nearer post. That one traveled toward the far post and straight off the bar. It hit with such force that it rebounded, I'd say, I think 18 yards away. Nobody made contact with it before it rolled over the touchline, as the ball remains in the midfield here. Once again, AIC plays it long up toward Napolitano. He goes down, and we have another foul called. Medito not guilty of much beyond body contact, but that does draw the whistle. And I think the Dolphins are upset that it was the head referee who made the call and not the lines judge. The lines judge was right there, but the head official came in and made that call. Donato Curci hot right now over that call. But again, it's a free kick, and again, Christensen will line up to take it. Tough to put one on net from here. He will send it toward the back post, and Beaton heads it away. Arslan gets to it in stride. He was cut off by Nicolatides. And now Torres will send it up the pitch. Alvarado making a run toward the corner. Amara there as well. Martinez had to play it, and he sent it right off Amara. Dolphins sent it toward the attacking third off what was an AIC throw. And the ball bounces all the way into the arms of Schelling off yet another long punt. by Martinez. He has gotten his leg into plenty today. I'm not sure I've seen a goalkeeper so active in putting the ball in the 18 at the other end. Ball in the midfield now. And Pelletier making a run. He has it in stride, volleys toward goal, and with two Dolphins shadowing him, he did not get a chance to let that ball come down for an additional touch. He had to put it on goal via the volley, and he just could not beat Schelling. And a handball will be called against the Dolphins. .5:20 to go in this second half. Martinez will take the free kick. But the Yellow Jackets are beginning to find ways. They've had a couple of opportunities, a pair of free kicks, that last volley by Pelletier. They certainly are very much in this game as, wow, the head official saying no to the handball, and the Dolphins bench didn't like it. I have to agree. Under 5 minutes to play now. Dolphins working along the near side. They find Amara in the midfield. His pass off the mark, a quick giveaway. For the Dolphins, Nicholas Tawaya checked into the game a couple of minutes back. Maybe more than just a couple. As AIC will throw. Cimini now down for CSI, and they'll stop it. He's calling for a substitution. Badar Mesrar will get set to check in. It looks like Cimini was grabbing at his right calf or knee. With the stoppage, head coach Kirchie continuing to converse with the head official, presumably over that handball called. Dolphins bench was already unhappy after the foul was called. Not called by the lines judge, who was in close, but called by the head official. And I think the handball, in CSI's opinion, non-call, set the bench off a bit. Off the throw, there was a jockeying for position along the sideline. Once again, it'll be a throw-in for AIC. We have an even 4 minutes on the clock. And the throw goes into the box, headed into a really dangerous spot, but there was nobody there. And now Schelling gets it all the way up the pitch to Amara. He is hit hard from behind, and the clock is stopped again. Ribby Williams will be shown a yellow card as Amara was hit in the back of the head. Both players trying to make a play for that ball, leaving their feet, and Amara got the worst of it. So the Dolphins earn yet another free kick. AIC's had a couple of those in the last several minutes, but the Dolphins now will take this from about the 40-yard line. And again, those football yard markers coming in handy here. But from that distance, they'll play it short and regroup. Asensio Cueva along the near side. Plays it back to the center of the pitch. Paleo with plenty of room. Looked to send one into the box. It was played by the body, and Amara couldn't corral it after that. It lands on the foot of Medito following the clearance. Now Asensio Cueva gets it to Alvarado. Quick give and go. Asensio Cueva still moving forward, and he couldn't connect with Amara. If he had, that would have been big-time trouble for the Yellow Jackets. Pass broken up. Now Alvarado on the edge of the 18. Alvarado dancing through traffic, put one on goal, but didn't get all of it. And that's easily saved by Martinez. He will heave it to Pelletier. Pelletier does have some room in front of him. Strong touch, but Mesrar cut off the angle nicely. Asensio Cueva for Palaio. Under 3 minutes to go. Palaio approaching midfield, circles back, and plays it to Medito. Medito for Beaton. Beaton. Right back to Medito. Mesrar crosses midfield. Arslan up the far side. Surveys. And his pass was deflected. It lands on the foot of Mesrar. Into the corner for Torres. Torres with some room. Crosses it off a defender. Dolphins bench again wanted a handball, but they won't get that call. Certainly no handball there. As again, they'll try and find Torres in the corner. It rebounds onto the foot of Arslan. Quick give and go. Tawaya for Arslan. And Torres looked perhaps to have stopped his run. Arslan wanted him to continue toward the corner. Instead, he sends it over the end line. Goal kick, AIC, 1:40 to go from Springfield. The ball loose in the Dolphins' end. Tawaya off the bicycle kick from Beaton had it. He is taken down hard. Free kick, Staten Island. There is a yellow jacket down, and the clock is stopped at 1:27. Looks like a player cramping just beyond midfield. 87 seconds on the clock. And the trainer will be waved out. Well, if you're going to take the show on the road for any match, this has been a good one to do so. Dolphins hoping to come away with a second straight win, and if they do, it would be in dramatic fashion for the second straight outing. 87 seconds to go, score even at 1. Free kick, Staten Island from just inside of midfield. It's played toward the far side. Palaio. Into the box, streaking Amara, he won't get there. Martinez beats him to it, and Martinez looked to send it through the midfield. AIC turning up the aggressiveness. The Dolphins again getting between a second pass, and there's a hard challenge along the sideline. McGonigal all over Arslan. Dolphins will throw with under a minute remaining, and they did call a foul. Free kick instead, played short. Mesrar right at midfield for Asensio Cueva. Asensio Cueva chipped it in the air. McGonigal had it with the head. Tawaya got smacked in the face. And again, the Yellow Jackets clear. Throw in, Staten Island, 35 seconds to go. And Beaton will send it up the pitch. It's Torres. He was pushed from behind. The Dolphins had it momentarily. It rolls right onto the foot of Mesrar with 22 seconds remaining. Amar, the only attacker in the area as Mesrar played it forward. It's sent in the air with 14 seconds to go. Torres volleys. Ball in the midfield. Medito off the head of Torres. 7 seconds to go. And the Dolphins will not get another chance. Neither will AIC. As for the second time in as many meetings, the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets have played to a 1-1 draw. CSI trailed by a goal at halftime. A second half red card put the Dolphins in a one-man advantage situation. CSI appeared to have scored the go-ahead goal, or I should say a game-tying goal. However, that was waved off for a handball. They then ultimately do score what will go down as the game-tying goal. However, if you ask the Dolphins, perhaps it should have been a game winner. Regardless, it is a 1-1 draw to bring this one to a close here in Springfield as the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets tie for the second time in 2 meetings, the first taking place a couple of years ago in 2023 at Dolphins Soccer Park. I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined us. We had viewers checking in and out throughout our live stream on YouTube. Perhaps if I can get a download of the game, we pair some of these calls with the video from this one between the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets, but it's been A 5-day trip to Connecticut and Massachusetts for me. It concludes with this match as I head home tomorrow morning in anticipation of men's soccer's next outing. The Dolphins open conference play on Saturday at Dolphin Soccer Park as they take on Roberts Wesleyan University at 2:30 p.m. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman on the call for CSI Sportsnet. Once again, the Dolphins and Yellow Jackets play to a 1-1 draw. Our next broadcast will take place over on Flow College this Saturday as the Dolphins take on Roberts Wesleyan University. Once again, everyone, thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night.